All right, we're going live. Okay, it says we're live. So, welcome from the crossroads of America. A talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. We'll answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. I have a Patreon page. I have PayPal, and all those other info is all down there below in the info section. So that's my going on. I tell you what, let's see who we got in the chat. John Brown Productions and 2 Live Moo. That is it. Very small crowd today. I must be losing my touch. You know? Aha! Now we got Patriot in the dark in thing twice. One with an icon, one without an icon. Okay.
Being tricky.
Well, all right. So at the moment, my what's the word? What would be the best word to describe you? I don't know. My co-host, my panelist, Patriot in the dark. How you doing?
I am doing great. Thanks, Rick.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the sunshine today.
Yeah. You got sunshine?
Off and on.
Got any snow?
No, it's actually pretty nice out. I just, stand in the kitchen and comes through the window and stuff, and it's like, well, wait, sun's out there. I mean, it is cloudy. It's just partially or something.
Okay. All right. We got Mystic Guns, the gun snob.
Are they still driving?
Well, were they driving?
Earlier. Said they were going for like 10 hours or something.
Where were they going?
I didn't listen past the driving part.
No, I don't know where they were driving to. I didn't even know. Where'd you listen to them on?
Caliber Corner this morning.
Oh,
they were in the.
Oh, I wasn't listening to Caliber Corner this morning because I was having a Q-tip stuck into my brain. Time I took a shower, got dressed, drove down there, and got back. It was over. 2 Live Moo said sun is shining in Michigan. Because 2 Live Moo lives up that way.
I think he's to the west side of the state, maybe.
Oh, Mystic Guns, 110 miles from Dallas. Oh, Jerry Parker's joined us. All right. I'm waiting for people to show up before I start. But, where can you start? I
had a great day today.
For the last 3 years on my shows, Patriot, you've been telling me to be positive. Think positive. But my God, it's only been 3 days and he's destroyed the country already.
Well, it's not so bad. I made some calls this morning and I found local to my family. They live north, and I talked to a guy that's been there for about 800 years. He's a really old guy, and in his shop he has primers. He's got the large pistol primers. He didn't have any small, but he had large rifle and large pistol primers, and he had a bunch of 32 short, long, and special, 32 special, which he's got a lot of odd stuff there. So yeah, so I found some stuff today.
All right. Kingpin out in the chat says we have an echo. So have you got both of your things open?
I'm going to try to shut it.
Okay, we're down to one now. So, all right. Do we still have the echo, Kingpin? Oh. Okay. No, I don't know. They're doing their own chat in the chat there. They're just ignoring us. So okay, but I mean, what did he do? Stroke of a pen, done away with 10,000 plus jobs with the pipeline. Isn't that it? Not only is it affecting the United States job market, isn't it affecting the job market in Canada too? Because isn't that where it originates?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's a lot of ruffles, and they've got their plans. I mean, I don't view the world like they do, so I don't understand what their ideas are. So I've pretty much cut myself off for at least a week. So I'm not listening to much of that stuff.
Okay.
But I did notice that, as soon as, he was sworn in, I'm flooded with all these Republicans begging for money that, haven't been around for the last, 3 years. But now they're all, well, we got to fight for America and, garbage. So
yeah,
any of them, I just put them all on the primary list. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Those Tacticals joined us in here. Quick, we still haven't. Do anybody else besides Kingpin having an echo? Because actually, I can hear myself talking. So where's that coming from?
I don't hear it. I did shut the other mics off because
I know
they do have some feedback.
I don't know. So, willed and well armed has joined us in the chat.
Hey, sorry about that, Rick. Sorry to be late.
That's okay.
Doc his paycheck.
And what am I doing? Okay, we're getting an echo. I just muted Patriot, and I think the echo's gone. Is it gone now? Anybody? Because I had a feeling there might have been a feedback loop from Patriot in the dark. So, can you hear an echo there, well armed?
No echo. I hear you perfect.
Okay. So it might have been from the Patriot in the dark. So as much, I don't know why. It normally doesn't happen, but he's using a new system or something he was saying earlier. But anyway, what I was talking about is I don't know where to start on how our country has got destroyed in 2.5 days. Yeah, Jerry Parker said it's gone, the echo. So, yeah. So, Patriot, it had to be you. Sorry, buddy. I muted you and the echo went.
I don't think so. I don't trust them. Is it back?
I don't know.
Because I have an earbud in, and that's it shouldn't be.
I don't hear any echo, Patriot.
I don't hear it right now, so no telling. But
yeah,
anyway,
I'm back on my phone. So
for a man who is hiring people because their race, gender, or whatever, not their qualifications to do stuff, right? Did you know? Did you know he fired? Yeah, the echo's back. I can hear it.
No, that's me rattling around. Sorry.
He fired the Surgeon General of the United States, who happens to be black. Where's his equality for everybody? The old white guy fires the black guy. I don't see anybody getting up in arms about it. So, but I know I don't know if anybody's in here yet. It's not being destroyed, just turned a bit. Turned for the worse, yes, but not destroyed. Well, yeah, I guess technically you're right, Fxxk. But here you go. I got a question for the mask loving people amongst us who thinks everybody should wear one.
You've got mail.
I'm not one of those. I don't think you should wear one. I only wear one when I'm forced to. My question is, no, I haven't had it yet. My question is, he's mandated 100-day mask thing for federal buildings and planes and trains and shit, that everybody has to wear one. Okay, my question is, now, you see Biden sitting in the White House at the Oval Office, even though he was at Lincoln Memorial without a mask. We're going to that later. But he's sitting with a mask on at the Oval Office, signing those executive orders. My question is, why is he wearing a mask? He's had both of the vaccines, because it's a double doozy. You have one, then 3 weeks later, you have the other one. He's had them both. So why? So if you've had both the vaccines, why do you still have to wear a mask? Can somebody answer that one for me?
Photo op, sitting in the Oval Office.
Okay, but what about out and about?
It will if it helps them.
But what I'm saying
just like it.
Say you get the vaccine, you take the vaccine, and of course you take one, and 3 weeks later you get the other one. So you had both of them, right? And you walking into the grocery store, and the sign says you must wear a mask. And my question is, why? If you've had the vaccine, that means you can't catch it, or can you still give it? I don't know.
I mean, if 90% that you won't get it, it's not 100%, right?
Well, nothing's 100%. Even the flu shot's not 100%. Even all those shots we took as a kid, for smallpox, mumps, measles, and all that shit, wasn't guaranteed 100% that you wouldn't get it.
Well, I think smallpox and polio are 100%.
Oh. So if it's so you're saying it's only 90%, we should still wear the mask. Why the fuck have the vaccine then if it's only 90%?
Well, I think you have to get what they call herd immunity. So
no. As of yesterday, Biden himself said there's nothing we can do about the way the COVID is going. So all this stuff that we're doing is just total bullshit.
Well, didn't Fauci yesterday also say that it was plateauing miraculously? That whole thing is just...
It's one total fucked up. I mean, then we joined the World Health Organization, who are praising the Chinese minister on what a great job he has done in his country on getting rid of COVID. And I thought, fuck. Why in the fuck? Why are we joining? Well, that's what I understand. Because we're becoming commies. It's that simple. Kingpin's joined us. How you doing, Kingpin? Well,
I just got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Okay. Then we got Clover Tech in here. How you doing, Clover?
Mic working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Before I would go,
doing well. Thanks for the invite.
Good.
Go on.
I don't throw the communist and the fact I got in a whole big argument about that, but I don't usually throw that around because that's the same as the other guy is saying we're all racist, So I don't put any of those big things. They push a social agenda, they push different things, but I got an argument. Well, not an argument. I noticed just before I jumped on, I had some replies to a comment I had put out there about the communism and Nazis and socialists being on the left side, unless you're, because being in Europe. Anyway, I won't go into all that, but because obviously the right in the U.S. is supposedly conservative, supposed to be whatever, and so I had gotten a discussion about where everybody always says that Nazis are the right side, they're far right, and far right of limited government and more responsibility on the individual. That doesn't seem like Nazis are too. They don't really care about the individual. So I don't know if you guys had anything on that, because in Europe they always say, the Nazis were on the right, and that's fine, but they don't have any. They don't have a constitutional republic or a representative democracy over there. I mean, they've got Germany and France and stuff, but they're not like us. So anyway, that's a little sidetrack.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Originally, the Nazi Party was considered right. Well, I mean, but that did change. Right of what? I'm not sure. I think
doesn't the far right, as far as what's considered far right, extreme right or whatever, from being a conservative, meaning limited government, not small government, I mean just limited government and more responsibility on the individual, isn't something that's right side of that, more anarchy, which means you are in control of yourself and everybody is just running amok. Instead of having somebody, because the state on both communism and the Nazis were in charge. The state has more control over the people, and the people are little, and the government is big. But I know there's obviously different dimensions of all that. But.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. I think when you go so far right or so far left, they kind of touch each other on the backside. So maybe it's a circle versus a line that goes left and right.
So how is that? Because obviously you have the government side of it, and then you have the people side of it, right? Government is either in total control, lockdown. They're the fascists are the ones that demand and make you do everything. And then the extreme of that is obviously where the people are in charge. So the government doesn't do anything.
Well,
but as far as people, being in charge and having more rights, I know that they say it's a square, a circle, and all that stuff, but I don't see anarchy being the same as, I guess it's like a wave or something, but I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm blind. I don't visualize that stuff very well anymore.
Kind of anarchy is the untamed version of libertarianism, right?
Yeah. Actually, G. Webbs agrees with you. He said the political spectrum is a circle, not a line. The ends meet.
Yeah. Because I know once you go to an extreme, then, people overthrow it, then there's anarchy, and then it kind of comes back in that kind of loop.
Well, bottom line is, right, as of today, we're heading in the damn wrong direction. I feel. I really do. With some of the stuff he said he's doing, and he has done, I mean, as I said before we started, I mean, by a stroke of a pen, getting rid of the pipeline, whether you liked it or not, that's 10,000 jobs. Now he claims, well, we're going to give you better jobs. From where? You know what I'm saying? From where are these jobs coming from?
Yeah, also, the pipeline affects Canada as well because, a lot of that oil comes from the Canadian oil shale fields.
Yeah,
Um, then it goes down to, New Orleans, Louisiana, where, those are jobs as well down there.
yeah, you're right. Then he's put a moratorium on gas and oil stuff, right? So that means our price by Christmas, I reckon by July 4th, you're going to be paying $4 a gallon for gas again.
Well, you just kind of need to look at all the records. So, the stock market was above 30,000. The price of gas was $1.90. You can benchmark everything right now. When you increase the minimum wage from 15 to or from 7.90 to 15, there's consequences to all those decisions. Everything has a reason to do it and a reason to moderate and a reason not to do it. And he's just headstrong to do it the Democrat way. And I think it won't affect people in my tax bracket. It's going to affect the lower income people, but it's going to increase. That means a lot of mom and pop shops are going to go out of business. They can't afford to pay everybody $15 an hour. So they'll have to be in the store themselves at longer hours.
Yeah, but actually, I was doing some research. Technically, that mandatory $15 an hour is for federal employees only, and contractors with the U.S. government. It's not for the everyday store yet, but it's going to trickle down that way. Ghost Tactical said, remember, executive orders are not law. They are directives. Correct. But a directive has to be followed. Because if you didn't follow a directive in the government, it could get you in trouble. So, same difference. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just in shock on what's happened. The way it feels like my world has changed overnight, literally. And I don't know why, because I'm still doing the same thing. I've done the same thing this morning that I do every Saturday. Well, I don't go get a COVID test every Saturday, but so I'm saying it's changed. I think by the summertime, my fixed income is going to be stretched because the cost of living is going to go up, cost of gas and everything else. So it's going to cost me more to survive, which I don't like. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. But we just have to hope things get sorted out and the midterms are not rigged. And I don't care what anybody says, this election was fixed. Just because a court wouldn't hear what evidence they had doesn't mean they didn't have any. That's the way I look at it. So, I was just reading my little book, The Constitution of the United States. And it just is just a trivial little thing that just caught my eye. And it was, when everybody says we're a democracy and all that, form of government and all that. No, we're a constitutional republic, right? Well, under Article 4, Section 4, it says the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, not a democracy form of government, a Republican form of government. So there we go. Just a little trivial thing. So if you hear somebody say, well, we're a democracy, no, we're not. We're a republic. We're meant to be a Republican or a republic. So, but they don't listen to us anyway, so what difference does it make? There's them and us. That's what we have, again. Them and us. Oh, and I figured out what he means by unity. If everybody does what we want, then we'll have unity. He wants no... So people who are loud, cause problems, will be shut down by the media, be shut down by the YouTubers and the Facebookers and all the Twitters, those big corporate organizations, for there will be no dissent out there. So there will be unity. They'll say, look, nobody is against us, so everybody must love us. That is what they're trying to do. You know? Oh, DJ Rick, is that a new patch panel? Oh, behind me? Yeah, I just put up another one just in case I get any more patches. Yeah, that's what all that black is back there. You know, I dropped the patch behind the bookcase there. I gotta work on getting it out of there. You know? So, but yeah. Oh, talking about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Well, I'm glad I brought it up just to let everybody know right now. Due to the situation in the gun community, i.e., you know, there's no, whether you like them or not, there's no NRA convention, there's no SHOT Show, and all that kind of stuff. And normally what happens is all my swag I get donated to me from people who go to stuff like that and pick up all the freebies that are going. You know, so if they're not going, they don't have it to spare. So what I'm going to do on my competitions, instead of doing it weekly, I'm going to do one every other week to make what I got last longer. So that was an executive decision. I wrote an executive order and signed it. So,
Rick, do you need more patches from me?
No, I still got some of yours.
All right, let me know when you need more. I'll send you more.
Oh, yeah. All right, I will do. But I was just using that in general. I mean, I got stuff to keep going. But, you know, I understand there's none of that stuff going on. So the people who are very generous and donate the stuff to me, they might not have it this year. So that's why I'm cutting back to make it last longer. Hopefully the COVID will be over soon or under control or whatever they want to call it. And things will start opening up again. So, all right. That's what I just wanted to mention on that real quick. So, anyway, as I said earlier, I don't know if everybody heard me. You know, what I'm having problems with is the people he's picking for certain positions. And he's picking them because of their race or gender or whatever they believe, not what they can do. And I think that is so bad. I mean, like that one he's picked for assistant, was it health, whatever her name is? Or it's that woman who's a transgender woman, and that doesn't bother me in the slightest, but she doesn't have a goddamn clue what she's doing. But nobody is going to, when she comes to the Senate for confirmation, I can't see anybody saying no because they're afraid to be called, you know, not racist, but whatever the word is for homophobic or whatever over a transgender person, which I think is pitiful, you know. And God help, I mean, the woman he's picked for the Commerce, Secretary of Commerce, is the governor of Rhode Island. And she is a bitch. I can't see her doing us any good at all. But there we go. Well, I don't know why I'm getting myself all worked up for, but I'm trying to stay out of politics. I really am. I'm watching. Honestly, I've only watched highlights of certain stuff, and it's already got me riled up. I'm glad I'm not sitting there watching the news totally. It would be a basket case, I think. So, anyway, anybody wants to jump in, go right ahead. Just I don't. You don't.
Hey, Rick, I got something on that subject,
Yeah.
and maybe somebody else can help. I'm trying to switch away from Fox News after 10 years of being a daily watcher, and so I've got this OAN. I've got the Blaze. I paid for that for a year, and then but there doesn't seem to be like a Fox and Friends. Something in the morning that you hear general news. I mean, I don't want to just hear. I want to hear what's going on in the world as well, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
it doesn't seem to be a lot of that. Anybody have a recommendation on conservative news that's general?
I don't know. I mean, I was reading an article the other day that a lot of the people who are leaving Fox have gone over to Newsmax.
Yeah, I've got Newsmax too, but I think there's a paid version and the free version. I'm not sure if I think I got the free version, and so they're talking about stuff that's 3 days old, and I mean, right on Friday they were talking about things happening during the holiday season. So I mean, I'm watching stuff 2 weeks old.
Yes, I've noticed that on a lot of those things. I don't know. The only other thing I can think to do is use YouTube and try to find, little clips of stuff that's going on. It's the only thing I can think of. Or it's hard. It's hard to watch. I said I hardly ever watch Fox anymore myself. If I watch it, it's because, say, I'm watching something I've recorded, or I'm watching some streaming thing I use, and in between I might, click on Fox just for 5 minutes, then go on to whatever else I'm watching, because normally I click it on and it just disgusts me, and I think
Yeah, I mean, they don't sell much different than CNN as far as the Republicans storming and bashing the Congress and burning it down. I mean, I just saw peaceful people look like they were walking in there on a tour. All the guards are set aside, and then you see that one scene of the hand shooting a bullet through the window in the Congress at that girl. So I mean, didn't seem like a whole lot of violence. I saw that guy with the horns, sitting in Nancy Pelosi's desk, but I didn't see a bunch of violence or anything that I hadn't seen. When the Democrats rushed Congress, when they were doing the Senate hearing, for the Kavanaugh or whichever one that was, they all rushed in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I did notice the other day that Fox News did I don't know if fired is the correct word, but let go about 10 editors who work behind the scenes getting the stories and stuff like that for them, and all 10 of them were right leaning people, so you can tell where they're going.
Yeah.
Now, Newsmax TV has a 24-hour live feed on YouTube. So, somebody in the chat just wrote that, Jerry Parker. Well, I don't know that will get you any fresher news there.
Yeah, I think that's what I've got now. I think that's the free version that's running on the Crowd TV app. So you can get that and OAN and and then you could also get Euro News. So you could kind of put it on those and just have some background noise, kind of like I have. But when you put on Blaze, you got to pick a show, so it's all kind of like pre-recorded. And, listen to Stu go on in the mornings. That's not really a current event show.
Yeah.
Or Glenn Beck.
Yeah. I don't know. What time does what's his name come on? Rush or Hannity? Aren't their shows on in the morning?
No, Rush comes on at noon Eastern, and then Hannity comes on at 3:00.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Don't know what to tell you. You can tell I've got that's why I'm running out of things to say here, because I ain't watching the news, because it's getting me down. So I don't know. All I know is I'm going in. I had my COVID test this morning, where they jammed a Q-tip into my brain, and I'm going in for an operation on Thursday. But I did know, they told me, I know I broke the rules, but they told me to stop taking one of my meds. Oh, hell, I can't pronounce the name of it. But it's basically, I got high blood pressure now. So they have me stop taking that one, because I think a side effect of it, it thins my blood, I think. And they wanted me, and I normally take Excedrin in the morning too. I just do. Ever since I got hurt, I've always taken it. And they don't want me to take that, because I think that the aspirin in it or whatever's in it thins the blood too. But I am in so much agony that it is unreal. I didn't realize Excedrin's helped me so much since I stopped taking it. But I tell you what, this morning I had to take it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it to the place to get my COVID test. I've been hurting that bad since I stopped taking it. It's pitiful. I'm literally moving like an old man. I thought for a minute that I thought I'm going to have to bring my scooter in the house to move around on. I was hurting that bad, So I don't know. Hopefully, and most of it, it's not my back. It's not my back that's causing a problem. It's my hip, And so I'll be glad when that gets done on Thursday. So, where I can at least move around, that I can go out. Then after I'm healed up and good to go, I can walk. I'll be able to stand up a little straighter, be able to walk some with my back, and I can go Bigfoot hunting in the woods here in Indiana. So give me something to do. Oh. Anyway, Clover, what are you up to? I ain't heard a word out of you yet.
I haven't had a whole lot to add, Rick.
Oh, okay.
I applaud you, though, for in a way, for turning off the news. I think more people probably should do that, to be quite honest with you. It certainly plays into the mental health aspect of things a little bit better to disconnect every now and then. And just because, regardless, we're a long way. You were, talking about Germany and some other things earlier, and it's debatable, it's arguable to say that we're on the path of getting there and whatever, but I think we're still a long ways off from that. I think there's going to be some really big. People see these, I don't know, call them microaggressions. I don't know. I hate to use liberal terms, right? Like microaggressions, but we see a lot of these things that, the grand scheme and the grand scope of things I think are minor, and we make a lot more out of it than what they are. And fail to realize that the world still turned yesterday and the sun still came up this morning, and we've still got more freedom than most places on the planet. And sadly, the price of all of that is eternal vigilance. So I'm not saying turn off the news, disconnect from everything altogether forever, and go live in a cabin up in the woods, up in the mountains. But although for some people that may be an option, but it's good to decompress every now and then.
Yeah.
And whether you turn off the news for 3 days or 3 months, 3 years might be a problem. But whether you turn off the news for 3 days or 3 months, quite honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make a lot of difference with what's actually going to go on and what you can actually do about it.
Yep, I agree with you. But I didn't. In the few bits I did notice, you guys down in Texas are your governor has recalled the National Guard, which I thought was the right thing to do. That's disgusting to put them out in the parking lot to take their breaks or whatever they were meant to do. On a concrete floor as well.
Well, that's one of them things where, I don't know. I don't know how all that went, because some elements said, so you were listening to one news and they said that they were selectively bringing in National Guard. They weren't just bringing platoons or companies or units or whatever. They were picking and choosing who they brought. And then in the next breath, they're saying, oh, they kicked them all out, making them sleep on the floor. Well, if they were picking and choosing like the conservative media wanted you to think the week before, and they were picking and choosing people that aligned with them politically, then why would they kick them out and make them sleep on the floor? They usually take care of their own. And so that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There's a lot of things in the world right now that doesn't make any sense.
I agree with you. And I see that did your state attorney general file a suit against Biden and his change in the open border thing?
That I do not know, but it would not surprise me one bit knowing our attorney general. We have a very good attorney general.
He said for one that he can't do it it's unconstitutional, and two that Texas and the federal government have an agreement, a signed agreement,
right?
Or something, and by doing what he's doing, they're breaking that. Well, that doesn't surprise me. The U.S. government, they always break treaties.
Right.
I mean, doing it. They've done it to the American Indian for years.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
No, 100%, man. 100%.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, I hope they do, and that's the one good thing. A lot of this stuff you can take them to court over it. I mean, they took every executive, I think nearly every executive order they wrote, then they tried to take him to court over it on his, his plane bans, his immigration plans, everything. They tried to take him to court on it.
Yeah, they do. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of that is sadly, a lot of that's virtue signaling. It's grandstand plays, but
yeah,
at least it's something, right?
Yeah. Now, here's a question. Throw it out there. The impeachment trial that's going to happen.
I don't get that. Talk about with Trump, the second one?
Yeah. How do you impeach somebody who's not
right
in an office of any type for the government?
No idea. I have no idea, man. That's crazy things that we don't understand. Things that make you go,
And that's why I've been reading my little book on the Constitution, seeing if it was in there.
Right.
It tells you about you can impeach the president of the United States, but he is no longer the president of the United States.
Right.
So he's a citizen just like me and you now. I mean, okay, he still gets his Secret Service detail because of all the.
Well,
he was to a lot of secret information that we aren't. So,
right. Well, and he's still a billionaire, which I'm only a millionaire, so he's not quite like me. But
no, yeah. So, so I don't know. The only thing I can think they're trying to do is trying to stop him from holding office ever again. That's what I think they're trying to pull, because even that liberal Judge Roberts said he's not presiding over that impeachment, because it says in the Constitution that the Chief Justice will preside over an impeachment of the President of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He is, as back to what I said, he is not the President of the United States. And so I hear Roberts said he's not doing it. Right. So who's going to preside over it? There's no legal
something called. I think there's something called the Biden rule, and Biden made up a way where you could try somebody, and it would be just a procedural thing that could happen in 36 hours without any witnesses from either side, and just a straight up vote for impeachment. It's called the Biden rule.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, because you've got to get, is it 3/4 of the Senate to vote guilty, and even
supermajority.
What is there, 100 senators?
Yes,
there's 100 senators, so 3/4 of them. Is it 3/4?
Supermajority is, yeah.
So that's
66. Yeah.
What?
66 is the number for a supermajority.
Yeah.
Okay, 2/3. Okay, 66. Even if they get a few Republicans saying guilty, I don't think they're I mean, right now that means the Democrats, to make guilty, are going to need 16 Republicans to flip. And I don't think they'll get 16. I reckon they might get 10, maybe. There's more rhinos in that crowd, and I mean, all they're interested in is keeping the cushy job they have and all that money they're making. They don't care about what the people want.
Right.
So.
Yep.
I don't see them getting 16 Republicans to turn, to be quite honest with you. So it's going to be a futile, and all they're doing is wasting taxpayers' money.
Yeah, but what else is new, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we should stop paying taxes.
Well, I look at it, if they're only doing impeachment and not passing a bunch of crazy Democrat laws, then they're spending less money.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, impeachment might be $30 million or $20 million or $50 million at the worst. I mean, compared to $1 trillion that they could be wasting.
And they want to do that.
And they're dying to. They're going to.
Oh, they're chomping at the bit to get this relief package put through for $1.9 trillion. So.
Well, in that last package, they snuck in this thing about copyright. And so you can now, it used to be about $1,000 to sue somebody over copyright. Now they lowered it down to $50, and it doesn't even have to go to a court. They're going to have these new committees to decide. So there'll be software crawling the internet looking for copyright infringement. And if you don't opt out in that first 60 days, then you're going to be on the hook for the penalties of it are $11,000 and $30,000. So it's going to be pricey, and people are going to get hit left and right. So be real careful whatever you produce on YouTube or anywhere else.
You need to be doing that. You need to be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get all liberal for darts here, because I don't believe it's a liberal play. But I am not a fan of copying somebody's work in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And there's a lot of that for many, many, many years, for as long as there's been any type of art form, honestly. There's always been those less than scrupulous people that are, that do things like that. So I personally, I don't have a problem with it. And part of it is, let's say you're just a small recording artist and you haven't made it big, or let's say that you're, any type of an artist, or, you're trying to get some idea or something off the ground or whatever it might be. A lot of people don't have, the difference between $50 and $1,000 is enormous, and the process you have to go through, especially after you've spent the money that you have to go through to get things copyrighted and everything, trademarked and all that in the first place. So, lessening those barriers, I don't necessarily see as a bad thing.
No. But then again, what I'm thinking here on a personal note, if I done something and they sued me, and they said, you owe us $11,000. I said, well, 3 meals and a cot is better,
Well, that's not going to happen because it's a civil issue.
Yeah.
So that's first of all. Second of all, what a lot of people don't realize, they think that everything is they're going to go to jail or they're going to get sued. And, there's a lot of slap on the wrist first that happens. There's a lot of cease and desist. It's, hey, stop doing this. And then if you keep doing it, then fine. But, a lot of people, they don't realize that. They think that it's, they're just going to first, right out of the gate, first time, they're going to drop the hammer. Now, if you've infringed on somebody's, copyright and you've made millions and millions of dollars off of it, well, then, duh, that makes sense. But if you've done it and you really hadn't made any money, or, you've done it and the money you made is fairly insignificant. I mean, even I would venture to say even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what it is. The first thing you're going to get is a cease and desist.
What about little things like, you're using some copyright-free music, and then, your channel goes big, and somebody says, hey, that song's mine. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it back on copyright. Now, you got videos out there that were free music, and now they're not.
But you had that gets grandfathered when you do that. I had that happen. I've got that happening on my channel actually right now. That there was the music that I used for the Thursday night. Used it forever, and it was copyright free, royalty free, all of that good kind of stuff. And for whatever reason, somebody apparently bought the rights to it, I guess. But I've won every single claim that's been thrown on that by pointing out the website, pointing out the disclaimer, pointing out, everything else, and saying, no, these are old videos. Look at the date stamp. Look at the, attributions. Look at this. Look at that. This was all done prior to that. And so that doesn't matter. Just because somebody picks up, people buy artists' music after the fact all the time. You know what I mean? That doesn't entitle them to retroactively go back and charge radio stations 20 years ago for something or whatever it might be.
Is that something that you would copy? I mean, if you use some of that music, is that something you would screenshot so that you have proof later if that ever does happen?
Yeah, you need to know what website you got it from. You need to know the attributions. Any of the attributions, you got to make sure you put that in your descriptions and all anyway. Okay. The best way to get around it, honestly, and I raise my hand, guilty. I use things that are, other people's works, but the best way to get around it altogether is just not use other people's crap. But yeah, dot your T's and cross your I's for sure. If you're using something that says, hey, this is royalty free or whatever, make sure you have something there that validates that, hey, when I used this, it was royalty free, it was copyright free, I had permission, I gave the attribution, I gave the credit, I did everything, I upheld my end of the bargain, and so therefore it's grandfathered prior to somebody claiming, buying rights to it and claiming it.
So there you go. So you just got to be careful in what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, I got a copy strike on one of mine it was free music that I used in the background of one of my cat videos that I did.
Right.
I just took the video down. I wasn't even going to bother. I mean, I wasn't earning any money anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's no great loss to me. But
right.
I think it's just people just going around trying to make seeing if they can get money out of somebody. There's always them people out there that do that kind of stuff. I don't know. But it's what I was going to mention though, it on 2A stuff, we need to watch what's happening in your local, in your state, not so much on a federal thing right now. Because if you know, I get tired. I'm not saying he didn't say it, but when President Trump said take the guns due process later, right? That was a statement he made. Red flag laws, whatever what they called, something, protection orders,
Right.
Was
risk protection. Yeah,
was never passed federally, but I think 17 states have passed them now. So this kind of stuff is at state level, not federal level. We got to work out for. I think that's what we got to watch, is stuff going on at the federal level, because that's where Bloomberg's putting his money.
Right.
Trying to flip states and get 2A stuff changed around. If you make it tough enough, if every state does something with 2A that makes it so hard, then the federal government doesn't have to do anything. So Ghost Tactical says, I'm not 2A. I'm just a Bloomberg plant. That is what I've heard. That is what I've heard, Ghost Tactical. So it's luckily, as I've said before, in Indiana here, we had I think we're the second state to ever have a red flag law, and we've had it since 2004, I think, or 2005. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called the Laird Bill or something. It was named after a cop who got shot by somebody. I think it was domestic violence. The guy wasn't meant to have. He wanted to, it's some domestic dispute, I think, and the policeman got shot by somebody who wasn't meant to have a firearm, or they should have taken them away from him, but they didn't, or whatever. And that's why Indiana has it. But from what I've read, I mentioned this before. From what I researched, Indiana, we shouldn't have the law to start with, but it's not. It's sort of like used like it's meant to be used.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just discriminately. Yeah, take their guns. And I believe only a policeman can request it, and he's got to give proof to the judge. It's just not a policeman's word. I think they got to have some sort of proof or something to get the order. So, it's still not right. But what I'm saying is, I think in Indiana, it's used in the spirit of what it's intended to be, not as a tool to disarm people.
Right.
So. Like I said, that's where we're saying it's at state level. All gun. It happens every year too. I think was it 20-something odd anti-gun bills have been filed in Texas? I think they're filed nearly every year, aren't they?
Yeah, there was 2019 was the last legislative session. There was 67, I think. I put out a video on that, a long one, but I break it down. But yeah, I think there was 67 in 2019, and nobody said anything. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
people focus on the negative. And we need to be aware. Don't get me wrong, but that's all politics as usual. People don't understand that. As a politician, you need to be able to go back to your constituency and at least say, hey, you could, once you file the bill, doesn't matter. You could file it and then it immediately get thrown in the trash, right? And you're able to go back to your constituents and go, hey, I filed the bill. It's not my fault, right? Reelect me because I tried.
Yeah, yeah.
And people don't see that a lot of times that's not only a play that we see on the anti side, it's a play with you see on the pro side too. There are people that file pro bills that they might not even be the most staunch pro 2A person out there, but they'll go file a pro 2A bill just to get their cred, right? Just to make them look good. And they know that it's not written well. It doesn't have a prayer of going anywhere, but they'll file it just so they can go back. And so that's why I say a lot of times when you've got, you can't listen, especially in the primaries. And that's what makes it so difficult when it comes election time. People say, well, you can't trust a Democrat. You can't vote for a Democrat. Well, there's several that I think we probably could. If you really listen to them outside of the primary campaign. But what you got to realize is they've got to preach to their crowd during the primaries, right? And so people hear them, a Democrat, say anti-gun things, or maybe they hear a Republican candidate say anti-social things. Maybe it's LGBTQ issues, or maybe it's abortion, or maybe it's something like that. And that's not really what they think. That's not really how they believe, and they wouldn't really be for doing some of the things that they're talking about. But they got no prayer of winning the nomination unless they say those things, right? And so, politicians say the darndest things. You've heard of kids say the darndest things. And politicians say that saying the darndest things is a real thing. So pay less attention when you see these politicians of what they talk about during a primary campaign, and more off-the-cuff type discussions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the last, I think it's happened at state level too, but mainly at the federal level. This last, during in the 4 years Trump was president, no matter whether the Democrat agreed or same with the Republican, whether they are agreed or disagreed, whatever they were discussing, they voted along party lines no matter what. Which ones, what I'm saying is, even if, say, the Democrat thinks an anti-gun bill is bad, the party line was, you're going to vote against it because we don't like Trump. So they all voted against it, whether he didn't like it or not. And I think that happens a lot still, personally myself. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, but there we go. Oh God, my leg's killing me. I'm sitting here and I was saying this the other day. It's got to be mine. It's got to be, because I know I'm getting operated on. I guess my legs hurt. It feels like my legs hurting worse, or my mind is playing tricks with me. Because I'm sitting here right now, and my right foot, instead of being straight, is slanted outwards. And I can't put it straight. If you ask me to put my feet straight, point my toes straight in front of me, I can't do it. Not with my right foot. Because my hip won't let my leg turn that way anymore. It's and it's playing hell on my knee. So I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here most of this time, just massaging my knee, I should say, because it hurts so bad. So, but talking about that, I won't be doing the show Wednesday, because my cousin and I are going up to the hotel the night before, because I'm only having, from what, they haven't called me yet, but I found out the surgeon I'm having, 9 times out of 10, he does morning surgeries. He has been known to do an afternoon one every now and then, but 9 times out of 10, he does morning. So it's a 2.5-hour drive from here. So say they want me up there at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning. I mean, we have to leave mighty early. Plus, my cousin lives an hour away from me. She lives down in Evansville, 45 to 50 minutes away. So she has to drive from there to me. Then we got to drive up to the hospital. So it's 2.5 hours for me. It's another. So she's in the car for over 3.5 hours. So that's why that's why I won't be having a show on Wednesday. So anybody wants to use my time slot, by all means, go right ahead. You listening to me, Patriot? You know, maybe you can get New York Outcast to do one. So there we go. I just want to let that. But hopefully, if all goes according to plan, I remember when I had my left hip done, I was able to do a show a couple of days later. So I meant to go in Thursday. And they meant to send me home Friday morning if everything goes according to plan. And if they do that, I will be doing my show next Saturday. Now, whether it will be a long one or not, I don't know. You know, what I'm saying, sitting here, it's going to be painful to sit here for over an hour. I don't think it will, but I just want to let people know. So I'm going to be, just call me I could become the $6 million man with those bionic hips, you know, running down the road. But what's going to be strange is I got a big scar right on my left. Now, I don't know, it's not exactly on my ass cheek, but it's close, where they went in and replaced my left hip. I got a nice scar. It's got to be that long. What's that, about 9 inches long on my thing? But the doctor told me this time he's going to go in through the front of my leg. He said by going in that way, they damage less muscles. So we'll find out. So I'm just, that's the only thing that's the only thing that's being done different from what I can understand. You know, because it's another total hip. You know, they cut out the balling joint basically and put a new one in there. So it's amazing what they can do today, really. You know, when it comes to replacing your joints and stuff. I was just thinking if it was what? I remember even as a kid growing up, I think my grandfather had a hip surgery, and I think they kept him in hospital for 3 weeks before they even let him home, and it took forever for him to heal, and he never really healed that well. He always walked. He waddled when he walked, sort of type thing. You know? So, I mean, it's come a long way. It's come a hell of a long way over the years, what they can do medically now.
Yeah, Rick, a friend of mine, he had a new hip put in, and his right leg was 1.5 inches shorter than his left leg. So he had back problems. He had foot problems. I mean, the whole side was out of line. And it took him longer to get out of bed because they had to do a lot of stretching, to get those muscles and skin longer. But he's a much better man now, and doesn't walk with a limp at all.
Yeah. Okay, Two Live Moose says the anterior, ANTERIOR, hip surgery goes in between the muscles instead of cutting the muscle. It's supposed to be quicker recovery time. Yeah, because I said when they went through the back one on mine, they cut into the muscle. For this one going into your front, they're not cutting any muscle. They're separating them to get to it, from what I can figure, from what I understand. So there we go. So all right. It's 4:10, and I did have a quiz last week. So while I'm laying in the hospital, I got to come up with a question for next Saturday's quiz. Not next Saturday, I'm missing one. So there's not one this week. So I'll give a question next week. Yeah, that's right, because I'm not giving a question this week. So Yeah, I'll give a question next week. I'm doing it every other week. So I got to think of one while I'm in hospital. So, but anyway, last week, my question was, I wanted to know the firearm used in the assassination of William Mckinney. And it was a 32 caliber Ivor Johnson revolver. That's what I was looking for. And I had 6 entries. That was a good turnout. See, when I make them easy, you all answer. When I make them hard, you guys don't play. So let me hit my draw button. Hey. First time entry, first time winner. Jerry Parker is the winner. So there we go. That's the random picker for you. So I know you were in the chat earlier, Jerry. If you're still there, email me your mailing address for I can mail this to you. And anybody new out there, when I do these, I normally mail them out at the end of the month or the beginning of the month. Basically, when my on paydays, basically when I do it. So
he's really lucky, that guy.
What, Jerry?
He's the one that won the $100 on my drawing. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
Lucky SOB.
Yeah, and he won a knife off of my drawing as well.
Hey, this got to be rigged. Is he somehow getting into our computers and hacking into them and making him the winner? You know. So Jerry Parker, yeah, he's still here. So you're the winner. So just email me your address when you get a chance. There's no rush. I won't be mailing them out till after I come back from hip surgery. So there's no rush as long as you get it to me. All right. It's strange not to have a question for next week, but I think this will work better. And to as I mentioned, through the great donations I get for swag, I know it's harder this year because there's been no SHOT Show for 2 years now. Because there wasn't one last year and there's not one this year. Was there one last year? I don't think there was. Was there? Was there a SHOT Show in 2020?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no NRA.
Okay, that's what it was. No NRA, and there's no SHOT Show this year.
They killed everything after SHOT Show.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was saying to people before you. I don't know you were listening to me.
Yeah, I was. I couldn't find the mute. But.
For you guys that help me out that way, there's, since there's no free swag to grab, you need it for your own shit. Let them give it to me to give away. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what everybody gives me, but by doing it every other week, I can make it last longer. What I have got. So that's why I'm doing it.
I think the USCCA is still going on this year in April.
Hopefully. They might want to do it. But wherever they're holding it, that state might change the rules.
So Nashville, Tennessee, maybe not.
Okay, it might not, but it all depends. I mean, the hotel that hold it, they might decide, no, we're not going to do it, or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, they might hold it and be, mandatory masks if you want to go inside, that type of thing. If that happens, that's not too bad.
They should, since everything's been closed down, they should get a cruise ship and have it on a cruise ship. Then you could just shoot off the side.
Yeah. But then again, if everybody gets the vaccine, you shouldn't need a mask.
Right.
Oh, Ghost Tactical said here be at the USCCA for sure. Okay. If it's as of right now, it's still on, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah.
And if you're a member, it's free, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to pay this year?
I think so.
Well, non-members are $20 and members are $10, so it's not that big a deal. Yeah.
But they're charging you this year. Normally, it's free. Well, maybe the first one, the second one was, but because I remember that was part of the deal was if you were a member, you got in free. But okay, $10. $10 ain't bad still. You know what I'm saying?
For 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, that's not bad. And I reckon it might be a good one because there could be a lot of people wanting to hold shit there because they haven't been able to get their shit out at NRA or at SHOT Show. So there we go. We'll see. Oh, okay. What's the latest? Anybody know the latest on the NRA about them moving to Texas and their lawsuit in New York? So, yeah, the NRA is coming to Texas there, Clover.
Yeah.
The magazine that came out yesterday said 150 years and strong as ever.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're trying to move states, is that going to get that's not going to get them out of a lawsuit or even filing bankruptcy? All it's doing is the one they filed is for restructuring purposes. So, but
it'll help.
Yeah,
It'll
but
help.
I heard somebody say that filing for bankruptcy in Texas is out of it's not in their jurisdiction or whatever, so they can't do it. But a lot of companies file for bankruptcy in Delaware because Delaware is sort of like the bankruptcy capital of the world.
Delaware is like a banking capital of the world too.
So
And insurance.
I tell you, big insurance companies is in Connecticut, in Hartford, Connecticut. They got so many big insurance company headquarters there. It's unreal.
Especially if you listen to Johnny Dollar. Probably not that old.
Yeah.
He worked in Hartford, Connecticut he was an insurance agent radio show in the 40s.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I don't know. I noticed one thing, though, talking about the NRA, not them personally, but I've been getting a lot of emails from the GOA, just like I used to get from the NRA, just wanting money. It seems like one's now just replaced the other one. Somebody's trying to step into the shoes of the big boys. And is it going to turn out the same way? It's like anything else. When somebody gets so big or they get so much power or money corrupts.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Just go. I'm a member. I said I didn't join the NRA because I'm mad at what the fearless leader did. Until he's gone, I'm not going to join him. But I have joined the local ones here in Indiana. So I figured, because even here, even though we're a friendly gun, we have some good gun laws here in Indiana. We still have, like down in Texas, you still have the idiots. Like the big cities here are leaning Democrat. So you get the stupid Democrat bills put in still at the state level. So you got to keep an eye on them because if one slips through, that's why, as you said, vigilance is the price you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I got a great pocket. I got a new pocket knife, by the way. Did I tell you? Courtesy of New York Outcast, because I lost mine, and he sent me a new one. That was very nice of him, and it's nice and sharp too. So
nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it was made in the USA and not China too. So there you go. No, I mean, it wasn't a $200 knife or anything, but it was the thought that counts. But it's not a bad knife, actually. I quite like it. So, All right. Actually, you guys take care of me, really, more than I mentioned. You know, so I appreciate it. I've even had listeners, you know, send me ammo, 380 ammo for my stuff. So,
Wow.
oh yeah. So you know, people look after me. So because sometimes I get all depressed here how small I am. Nobody cares, but you guys do. You know, so I really do appreciate it all. So I'm going to wind this up before I can rest my leg, get something to eat, feed the cats. Oh, I found somebody to do my cats for me while I'm gone. And normally, I'm gone for a day. I just put a big bowl of food out and some water and, fill up there, make sure they got plenty of litter and be done with it. But since that one cat needs insulin shots twice a day, I got somebody to do it for me. So got that taken care of. That's now that I know somebody will do it. You know, like if I decide to go to Nashville's, I can drive to Nashville and back in a day, but it'd be a long day, so I can get somebody to do his shot in the afternoon or the evening. You know, because I won't be home till late type thing. So that's working out pretty good. So things are looking up. Not that I want the old boy to kick the bucket or anything, but he's, once these guys are gone, that's it. I'm having no more pets. I want to be free, where I can come and go when I want. As much as I like pets, I don't want the commitment anymore. Let's put it that way.
Oh, that's understandable.
And the reason I don't these are rescue cats, and somebody said to me, well, why don't you just, put them out there for somebody to take them off your hands? No, when you take a pet, to me, it's a lifetime commitment of that animal.
Right.
That's the way I've always been. So,
right.
There we go. Okay. Patriot, you got any plugs or shout outs?
Oh, just thanks for having me. I do have 2 videos, and I'm working on a huge project, and I'm probably going to have to pick Clover's brain for it. It's all cited stuff, but yeah, just thanks for having me. And congratulations to Mr. Parker there, winning all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, better write his name down before I forget.
Because we had, and actually, if DM Foss is out there, anybody that won, if they will email me their address, patriotinthedark@gmail.com, because I have some things, because there was 13 packages I was giving away, and this last time out of the 8, there was only 2 entries, so that's what happens when you make them too hard, I guess. And
yeah,
it was
I had that problem myself.
It was for 3 months, and it was over Christmas and all this craziness, so it's not at the top of the list. But since I did only get, say half of those packages given to people, I'm going to add extra to those that have already won. Might as well. But I do need the real name, so that the Second Amendment Foundation membership will be in your name and not your screen name, unless you want a screen name.
Hey, talking about that, I mailed out, I don't know if she got it or not, but Mystic Guns won or something. She had a package off me last month or the month before, and she didn't tell me. I didn't have her first or second name, so I listed it Mystic Guns at her home address. Did it ever arrive there? I don't know if she's still in the chat or not, but I don't know if it got there. But that's how I labeled it, Mystic Guns, and what address she sent me. So All right.
And Snob probably got it.
Yeah, Will the Well Art. And shout out to plugs.
Yeah, I had a couple of videos come out this weekend, but thanks a lot, Rick, for having me on your show. And, I always like being over here on your Wednesday and Saturday show. So thanks a lot for everything you do. And good luck for your surgery. We'll be praying for you. So that'll be Thursday. And then hopefully we'll see you on Saturday, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Two Live Moo. Yes, I did get your new address. I've actually got it right here. I've actually wrote out your old one. Then I thought, well, let me check. I could have sworn he said he changed or something. That's why it's taped. The brown piece of paper is taped over the top with your new address on it. So your package is ready to go because you won the playing cards, and they're in there. So, all right. Oh, yeah. Mystic Gun says she's got it. Oh, she told me her name now. Too late now. You've already got the package. And really you're married. So, it's, what can I say? Anyway, Clover Tech, got any shout out for,
Oh, not really. Thanks for the invite. A great conversation as always.
All right. I appreciate it. I know at the beginning I was all over the place, but, I don't know. Anyway, as I said, I will not be here Wednesday because I'll be traveling up to the hotel near the hospital. And it's St. Francis in Mooresville, Indiana, if anybody's interested, but I should be here on next Saturday from a show. If not, I'll put up something, even if it's only, a screenshot of saying no show this week or something. But, I think I will be here. I can't see there not being a problem. All right. I want to say thank you, everybody in the chat, for stopping by on your Saturday afternoon. I really do appreciate it. And, I want to say thank you very much, and I will see you all next Saturday. So, goodbye, everybody. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
Bye, Sabrina.